All right, guys, welcome. Good morning. We got a lot going on. The Strait of Hormuz is the big topic of discussion today. The deadline for Iran to reopen the strait is quickly unfortunately, I don't know, and I'd love to get your opinion in the chat. Do you think Iran can, number one, be trusted? Do you think they're going to open the Straits of Hormuz? Do you think that what we're seeing is Iran testing the president of the United States? The president of the United States has given them so many opportunities. And I believe that Iran is not prepared for the type of negotiation that the current president has done. Well, after the president gave them this deadline, Iran came out with, somebody will say Iran and Iran. You call them whatever you want. I'm a redneck from Lower Alabama, and that's the way I speak. If you don't like it, put it in your pipe and smoke it, or fold it up and make yourself comfortable. You know what I'm talking about. But Iran came out with a video yesterday, a cryptic video that I'm going to play, and it should scare you. Maybe not fearfully, but it should show you just how dumb they are. Because if you give people just enough of an opportunity, they will show you how stupid they are. And I believe that Iran is now showing us exactly how stupid they are. I want you to see this clip. You can see this, looks like a Native American Indian feather, not red dot. Watch this video. Iran put this out. Do you take them serious now? Okay, now I want to back this up and show you a couple of prominent things in this video that you might not have caught. Okay, so this is in reference to the American people destroying the American Indian. Okay, that's the first little foreshadow here. We killed the American Indians, right? They're all looking to heaven for help. You go a little further, this is Hiroshima. This is a reference to World War II, ending the World War, obviously America bad, okay? We're going to move along a little further in this video. Vietnam, the United States, obviously we were horrible people in Vietnam. We did so many horrible things there. People are looking to heaven for help, right? Here we go. Yemen, all of the mostly peaceful but fiery protesters in Yemen, okay? They're looking to heaven, looking to Allah. We go a little more. Palestine, Gaza. We got to go and find Muhammad. He's going to save everyone. Next up, Jeffrey's Island with the little girl. Obviously, America is in charge of that. That's where the problem is, right? Here's more Iran. General Soleimani, remember him? Bad guy, right? There's so many subtle little images here. Next up, the Ayatollah, not of rock and rolla, look into the heavens as the missile launches. The missile comes in. It comes to New York City. Look at the head of the Statue of Liberty. It's in reference to Baal, an idol. a demonic reference. These are the people we're playing with. And then it goes to the bottom of the sea. There's some kind of, I don't know, gibberish that they've scribbled on there. The reference to demonic worship, one vengeance for all. That is what we're up against. This is an ideology. I don't believe you can really defeat an ideology, because the people that believe this are the same people that danced when Charlie Kirk was shot. They danced when Donald Trump was shot. Somebody says that was the Hebrew on the tablet in the water. Great. I don't stop to read that. I read English. I read American. I read United States. I read my Bible. I whatever. But that's what we're up against. We got this coming out last night. Iran's elite Navy chief responsible for closing the Strait of Hormuz passed away in an airstrike. Who's in charge in Iran right now? Who is in charge in Iran? Who is negotiating with the United States, with the president of the United States? Let me know how the audio is there in the chat. Got our new little setup. We got our mic filter, all this other stuff. Broke out one of my old submarine hats. It's time to get salty again. I've been too nice. I've been too nice with people in the chat that have been distractions, that have become, I'll just say this, just distractions. And whenever I was in the submarine community, we have no time for distractions. We have no time for, we have no time for games. We have no time for people that don't want to be there. If you want to be a conscientious objector, it's your days will be short. Your days will be numbered. Your days will probably not be here. And that's the way that it's looking for a lot of these people. Iran's elite Navy chief responsible for closing the Strait of Hormuz, taken out in the airstrike. This guy right here. Now, the interesting part of this is they show this mostly fiery but peaceful protest that they had here following a strike on Bandar Abbas. And I don't know where that is, but that's a mostly fiery but peaceful protest. I'm sure that Tim Walz's wife would have loved the smell of that in the morning. We got more stuff coming in overnight where Iran, and now that I know people get triggered whenever I say Iran, I'm always going to say Iran. I will probably always do that just to be who I am.
Breaking news, IRGC Navy Commander Ali Reza Tangsiri was targeted overnight in a strike in the city of Bandar Abbas, Iran, according to a senior Israeli official. Tangsiri was directly responsible for commanding the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm told his senior operational leadership, including intelligence and operations chiefs, were at a covert Navy command center. That, again, according to a senior Israeli official, we understand.
Covert Navy command center. That didn't work out very well.
The battle damage assessment is ongoing, but they believe that he was killed in this strike. It was a targeted strike based on U.S. and Israeli intelligence that continues, according to this source, to demonstrate how deeply the U.S. and Israel are capable of using intelligence operations to penetrate IRGC leadership. Now, this does come as when we start with breaking news. IRGC Navy Commander Ali Reza.
How effective is Iranian intelligence right now? So somebody fill that one in for me, because I'm not seeing that the reef building. Yeah, not covert anymore. Loose lips sink ships. I've said it before. I'll say it again. There are more aircraft at the bottom of the ocean than there are submarines in the sky. We had a saying on USS Nebraska, go big red. They're not very intelligent at all. And there's a lot of people that are focused on Karg Island. Apparently, Karg Island has now received military reinforcements. The Iranians are building up some groundswell there. But the one that no one's talking about is a little island called Larak Island or Larak. And that is basically the toll booth for the Strait of Hormuz. It's basically the toll booth for the strait. And I'm going to show you here exactly where that is. So Larak Island, Larak Island, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you comfortable, is here. This is the toll booth where they have been charging ships to come in and out of the strait. There's not a lot there. It's basically a rock with a cut with a little bit of shipping logistics support. There's a road around the island. If you've been to Hawaii, H1 is the road around the island. That's basically it. That's all you're seeing there. And now things are going to get a little western there. A little western. This is the toll booth that we are not going to allow them to control anymore. Now, I'm not sure what your thoughts are of this entire situation. There's a lot of people that are very much against boots on the ground. Tomahawk Island, I think we could name it Tomahawk Island. In about 4 minutes is typically how long that you have to get those off once you receive that message. But do you support the people in the chat? If the president of the United States, using the intelligence that they have, the information that he receives in his daily briefing, do you think the president of the United States is going to honestly use boots on the ground in Iran? Are we going to put them in through Saudi Arabia? What are your thoughts? Because Iran is continuing to throw rocks at the eagle. We're the eagle. Russia's the bear. I don't know what China is. China's the Walmart supplier. What are your thoughts? Got me a cup of tea this morning, cup of hot tea. Throat's been a little sore. But I think whenever Iran puts out information, you've got to take them at a level of seriousness because they're backed into a corner. They have no leader. They're backed into a corner. They're going to respond. They responded overnight in Israel. This is video footage from March of last year. This is inside of a bunker in Iran. And I'm assuming they have multiple bunkers like this. This was probably built with your tax dollars from Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden and George Bush and Jimmy Carter, and I would say Ronald Reagan. This is probably built with some of the money that Russia gave them, along with the uranium, to put on these. And I want to show you this. This is why I believe we're really there. The oil, yes, but we have our own supply. Oil, yes. I believe this is the real reason. I want you to see this. This is very and before anyone says, oh, it's AI generated, it's not AI generated. I double check this. Those two guys are not here anymore. Neither are all the people on that wall. You see this? Soleimani touring the missile compound. He's not here anymore. This is a hell of a bunker. I think he said aloha gay bar. This guy's not here anymore either. They continue to use this. They continue to come after us. And I think we're at a point right now where the games are over. Now they're threatening the strait in the Red Sea. They're wanting to come towards the Red Sea to also affect trade there, which is not another good move, but that's exactly what's happening. I'll show you this. So here's the Red Sea here. On the other side of Saudi Arabia, they're wanting to affect this flow of shipping traffic coming from the Suez Canal. Could they do it? I don't know. But you can see the amount of shipping, the shipping lanes here. And this is real time. Tankers, container ships, moving in and out, the flow of traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. At some point, the United States is going to really quit playing games. And I think we've reached that point right now. We've played games with these people for too long. And I'll use that term, these people. I mean the leadership there. The leadership there is the problem. I believe the Iranian people want help. They want liberation. They want to be free. They want to have their blue-haired liberals just like we do. They want the same problems that we have. I think they deal with them a little better than we do. We're not that. We allow people that hate America to openly hate America on a daily basis.
Correspondent Alexandra Hoff starts us off tonight live from the North Lawn of the White House. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Brett. Today, the White House would not confirm exactly who is representing each side in the U.S. negotiations with Iran. President Trump says that these talks have been productive, even as Iran has dismissed a potential ceasefire plan.
If Iran fails to accept the reality of the current moment, President Trump will ensure they are hit harder than they have ever been hit before. President Trump does not bluff, and he is prepared to unleash hell.
That is, if ceasefire negotiations with Iran prove unsuccessful. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt did not elaborate on a possible 15-point peace plan drawn by the U.S. and cautioned that early reports of the plan weren't entirely factual. According to Iranian state-run media, a U.S. proposal has been rejected and countered with 5 specific conditions, including Iranian sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping passage for much of the world's oil supply. Iran's foreign minister says Iran has no plans to negotiate.
The clear signal has been Iran is not where we want them to be, and they're saying they got no intention of moving in that direction.
House Speaker Mike Johnson is more optimistic, saying today he feels a resolution is nearing.
I think we're wrapping up Operation Epic Fury. That's what I think. And I think it will be done in short order.
Despite the administration deploying about 1,500 U.S. troops to the region. The 82nd Airborne Division, they're typically deployed at the beginning of conflicts. So does the White House consider this conflict as wrapping up, or is it changing shape?
As I said at the beginning of my remarks, we are meeting our goals of Operation Epic Fury expeditiously.
How much longer do you think this happens? They bring up a great point. They're ramping up troops, 82nd Airborne, Marines. There's a large flotilla. There is basically 2 battle groups that are in that area. I don't know what else there is to drop warheads on foreheads. I don't know what else you can do other than a little bit of boots on the ground. And I'm not for doing anything that doesn't need to be done. That's where I'm at. If the military intelligence, if the president of the United States, if the secretary of war, if the joint chiefs of staff, if these intelligence briefings warrant what we need to do, then I am going to support what needs to be done until I'm proven that they were wrong. I don't know how long we continue to not believe them when they threaten the United States. And it seems like on a daily basis, that's what's happening. Trump is coming out again. I don't know how many times you can warn someone. And I've done it in the chat. I've warned people in the chat so many times, don't do this, don't do that. That's why I've reached this point where I've just put it back on the old bubblehead routine and quit being nice. You can't be nice to stupid people. You can't be nice to people that don't like your way of life. That's where I'm at right now. And I'm not sure about you, but the people that don't like you will never like you. They will probably never like you. The people that come into the chat that hate me will probably never like me. It's okay. I'm okay. Copium is a friendly thing. And at least you're not bothering other people at this time of the morning. This press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, 90% of the people in that press room hate her. They hate her. Nothing she can do about it. There is nothing she will ever accomplish where they don't hate her. Karine Jean-Pierre. People hated her. They just did. Now, hate is a strong word, but there's a lot of you in the chat that hated her. Jen Psaki, people hated her. President Trump, people hate him. There's nothing you can do about it. Iran hates everyone in the United States. And what bothers me is the people in the United States that think that for some reason that they don't hate us. They don't hate our way of life. They don't hate our personal freedoms. You can text the show. I've got the machine open here so I can get some of your text, some of your calls. We're going to take some calls and text. Feel free to leave a comment in the chat. What do you think it would take for, let's just start here at home, for the Democrat Party to actually support what the president's doing? What would it take? Would it take a mass casualty here in the United States? Would it take another Black Swan 9/11 type event for people here in America to realize what's happening? Ben says, bro, the real Republican Party doesn't. I don't know. I missed part of the context of that. The left has a new target to hate. They got a new one this morning. Here you go. Sydney Sweeney thanks the troops while sending well wishes to her brother. Sydney Sweeney, remember the girl that came out with the blue jeans, the American Eagle jeans? Her brother is in the United States Army. Sydney Sweeney just shared an adorable photo of her brother who is currently deployed overseas. Oh, he's in the Air Force, multiple Air Force munition squadrons since 2020. And she sent a, hey, good luck, little thing here. And because of that, the left has somebody new to hate. That's how far they are. That is how far down the hate train that they are. This woman cannot even say salute to the troops or her own blood without them turning it into it. Now, Breitbart did a great job of getting a photo that would get a lot of attention here. I'll let you enjoy that for a second. Breitbart did a great job here of bringing awareness. Not only salute to the troops, but breast cancer awareness. We need to all be aware of that. And some of you are very happy that I made you aware of this. Enjoy. Good job. But what are your thoughts on this? We got, this is big. Somebody in the chat just sent me this. Hold up. Scale of 1 to 10. How much do you dislike Adam Schiff? Scale of 1 to 10. How much do you dislike Adam Schiff? This is big. If this has legs, this is a big one. Let me grab this. I don't even know if this article will open or not. This might not be real. I don't know here. Tulsi Gabbard to declassify explosive top secret document Schiff locked away in the Capitol years ago. The article is not coming up. Send me another link to that. I really appreciate it if you could. Page isn't working. Oh, their website might be down. Okay. All right. This is, if this is real, this is monumental. Let's see here. Okay, let's go right here. Developing Tulsi Gabbard to declassify an explosive top secret document that Adam Schiff locked away in the Capitol. Anybody know about this? Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard declassify top secret document related to Trump's first impeachment. House Intel Chairman Adam Schiff locked it away in a skiff. Per investigative reporter, I'm told Intel czar Tulsi Gabbard soon declassify this. I mean, wouldn't it be fitting if they remove this guy from Congress for something, or remove him from the Senate? I believe he took Dianne Feinstein's old Senate seat, right? Is that right? This is monumental if that's a fact. Schiff needs to be in prison. He very well could be. I don't know. I want to believe that we're going to get some real arrests. I want to believe that. Until it happens, I'm going to be a little doubtful. But releasing this on a Thursday could be the timing. You have to think about the timing of some of this stuff. That's the big one, the timing. I heard something about that a while ago, but I thought it was satire. Eidolon, I want to believe it as well. I want to believe this. I want to believe it. Let me grab this. Let's grab. My buddy in Kentucky that called in the other day. I sent him his Bible yesterday. We got a lot of texts coming in. Let me grab some of these text messages that are coming here and read these. We got Bobby says, Ben, if we have a mass casualty event, it would be because of Trump bombing Iran, and no mention of the Biden admin allowing Iranian sleeper cells. How many sleeper cells do you think we have here? Ben explained to the audience that the combined U.S. military can do more than one thing at a time. Karg is a plus Lyric, plus whatever we're directed by POTUS. I agree. James, the Communist Democrats hate America more than Iran. I don't think you're wrong there. Hey, Ben, do you think the Democrats are supporting Iran? Why would they mention I support, respect our troops and send them in? We need to end this. I believe we have to end this. Sadly, there's absolutely nothing that will change the hearts and minds of the Democrats and liberals. I don't know what it'll take to change them. That's a great question. We should have taken Iran back in the 80s. Yeah. Airborne says if you superheat sand, it creates glass. Okay, that's a nice reference. Come on, Ben. You know she has to be white supremacy leader to support our troops. Oh, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah. That's true. Ben, I want to thank you for your show yesterday. My nephew's stationed at Camp Victory. After watching your show, I was able to get in contact with him. He was headed out to guard for drones. Did you see that yesterday? The drone attack on Camp Victory, very worrying. This was an FPV drone, which is first-person vehicle drone at Camp Victory. This is what used to be an army base in Iraq. And this was a drone, first-person view, FPV, of what happened here. You see this? Let me turn the audio down here. So there's the radar, and it flies right by it. So we've got somebody in the chat with a nephew there. Sentinel radar. Look at this. Look at this little, I don't know if this is a guard shack or, hell, it could be the showers, porta potties. For any of you that were deployed to Iraq, you know exactly what this is. You see that? Watch it get taken out here by a little drone. Bam, gone. Imagine being in the shower or on the toilet. It looks like porta potties. Every porta potty I remember in Iraq had 3 letters written in it. KBR. Keep Bush rich. If you're a veteran of the United States military, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But this was yesterday, and we've got somebody here in the chat saying that they've got a nephew there. They took out some Black Hawk helicopters. See that? Or a Black Hawk helicopter right there. This is like Call of Duty. This is a video game to these people. There's no sense of humanity with what's happening. CNN, the Iranian news network, is coming out with a new story here this morning. They're getting information from Iran that tells me that maybe they're not an American news network. Let me know what you think.
Front tonight, the breaking news: Iran laying traps ahead of a potential American ground invasion. So here's what sources are telling CNN tonight. They say Iran is actively preparing for an invasion of Karg Island. That is that 8 square mile island at the top of the Persian Gulf, 20 miles off the coast of Iran, that exports nearly 20% of the country's oil. So obviously it's central for Iran, an artery. It's an island, in fact, that Trump has long talked about invading. Now, the traps that we understand that are being put there, okay, from CNN's reporting, anti-personnel and anti-armor mines, we understand placed around the island. And Tehran also apparently quickly moving a large number of actual troops and air defenses to this island, its crown jewel in its oil industry. So far, we understand that includes shoulder-fired, surface-to-air guided missile systems as well. Now, all of these things could result in a large number of U.S. casualties if U.S. ground forces invade, according to U.S. officials and military experts. And some in Trump's inner circle are sounding the alarm, warning him that seizing that island would not resolve the issues related to the Strait of Hormuz.
What do you think about this? Is CNN pro-America? I don't believe they're pro-America at all anymore. I don't believe that they have America's best interests at heart. I don't believe that they are reporting on anything that would benefit the American people. That's where I'm at right now. And at some point, The American people are going to have enough of this. They're going to have enough of this. Somebody's trying to troll me with some, what is this? Okay. I don't do Bitcoin. I don't do that crap. But what are your thoughts on CNN? I remember CNN Iraq showed video of Iraqi snipers shooting coalition troops. If you give people long enough, they will always show you who they are. They will always show you who they are. Right? That's just a fact. And I believe the American people, we are now starting to see who is pro-America, who is anti-America, who is working against America. Because it feels like that some of these news agencies are actively working against America. Let's go here.
Last night, late, and here's what I know, Cuomo. So the United States would like to have a dialogue with Iran, but they don't know who to talk to. There's no clear leader anywhere. I mean, Omar, the tent maker, could show up to have the dialogue. They'd like to do it in Pakistan. They have Witkoff and Kushner ready to go. And they'd like to start the dialogue to get the things that the United States feel are necessary for world peace. So that's the American component. The chaos on the other side is undefined. There's no reporting on the ground. Nobody knows really where these people are. They're all hiding. A lot of them have been assassinated. So it's very hard to quantify what they're doing. The Revolutionary Guard is pretty much in control of hurling missiles and drones in the Straits of Hormuz. They're going to run out of ordnance soon. And then you have the China factor, which is huge, because President Trump doesn't want to eliminate the oil from Iran to China, particularly when he's going there in middle of May. So it's a very complicated thing. This simplistic garbage that you hear on television news in America is insulting. The administration is now waiting to see if it can get the deal that it wants. And that's where we are.
I believe Bill O'Reilly has gotten better. Getting fired from Fox News was probably the best thing that happened to Bill O'Reilly. He's become a little more based. He used to be a massive fence sitter. He was a huge fence sitter. But I think right now it's a binary choice in America. I got something for all my truckers out there. Truckers, here we go. And I know we've got a lot. No English, no license. Secretary Sean Duffy here. Look at this. 17,000 truckers pulled out of service for failing to pass our English language proficiency test. And we'll continue to take dangerous truckers off the road, making America's highways safe. 17,000 illegals taken off the road for failing to meet President Trump's English standards test. You support that? 17,000 people were on the road. And I just experienced something like this. I'll share the clip in my Discord. I was getting gas the other day in my old truck. They had a sign up on the pump. Let me read the sign for you here. And somebody just sent me a Cash App. Thank you so much. They had a sign up on the pump that said, "This card reader currently doesn't work." I'll put it right there, right? Currently, we only have unleaded and diesel. So you had to pay inside. I go in, give her some cash. I think I threw her a $20 bill, $30. I don't know what it was. I come back out and there's this Asian lady, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai, Chinese, I don't know, Asian. She pulls up and she's like, pump no work. I mean, you know, they all yell. They yell like they're in a market buying cats. And I'm like, what? She's like, the pump doesn't work. I don't want to yell. And I don't want to make the accent, right? But, Tubuku. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, she's pointing at the sign. What the sign say? What the sign say? I look right in her eyes and I'm like, if you can't read the sign, I don't want you on the road. She starts cussing at me. I was like, look, bad word. I don't know who you're talking to, but if you can't read the sign, I don't want you pumping gas and I don't want you driving on the road. She started yelling and then she drove away. It was pretty funny. Something Wong, I think that was her name. I think her name was Some Dumb Chick, actually, is what I thought her name was. But I don't have time for people like that. I'll share the clip. I recorded it all on my video. I'll put it in the Discord for that. But there are people now that are waking up. Look at this guy. I never thought this guy would go based. Stephen A. Smith, based. Look at this.
Let me state for the record, you should have a damn ID.
What?
I have no problem with the demand for an ID to vote. You need an ID for every damn thing else. And to the progressive left, shut the hell up. You got a mayor in New York City that required 2 IDs for you to shovel snow. You ain't in no position to be bitching about how he wants IDs and the GOP wants IDs for votes. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. Let me state for the record.
He's got a point. Mom Donnie required 2 forms of ID to get paid by the taxpayer to go shovel snow. Okay. But at least we're not Canada. At least we're not Canada. If you live in Canada, this is sick. We got any Canadians watching this morning? Anybody in Canada? Heidi, are you in here? Are you sober this morning? Is anyone in Canada? We got any veterans in Canada? We got any veterans in the chat? If you're a veteran, post your branch of service there in the chat. Look at this. This is Canada. This is how dumb. Well, I don't want to say dumb.
Breaths are sacred. When I imagine my final days, I see bubbles. I see the ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life, there is still so much beauty. You just have to be brave enough to see it.
Did you hear that word? Seek help to end my life. Ben said, is she sober? Yeah, Heidi. I don't know if Heidi's on the tipple drinking the Ripple this morning. And if you know where Ripple was, Fred Sanford, he was a Ripple drink. Listen to what this is, a suicide for a commercial for assisted suicide.
The ocean. I see music. Even now, as I seek help to end my life.
As I seek help to end my life. Canada's running these commercials. Somebody said, oh, wait, hold on. I love this one. I tried to get Real ID last week. It didn't go well. Real ID was simple to get. Birth certificate, a couple of bills, social security card. Real ID is simple. Do you know what is amazing about Real ID? Because I just had to renew mine because I got it 5 years ago. You walk in with your Real ID, you show them, and they're like, oh, here's a new one. It's that easy. I love it. Canada, y'all got problems. When you're having commercials about helping with assisted death, not good. This is Dr. Kevorkian's the prime minister. Yeah. Somebody said Ripple. Yeah, I used to watch Sanford and Son a lot. My grandfather loved Sanford and Son. One of the greatest shows ever made. If you don't agree with that, then I'll just flush you. I think you're wrong. I think you're specifically wrong if you don't like Sanford and Son. Let me show you this. I think I'm going to upset some people with this clip. Sadly, I don't care. You know that I don't care on this show if I upset you. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm not here to make you comfortable. Let's roll.
A new study finds that 61% of illegal immigrant households collect some sort of welfare, which is almost double the rate of people born in the United States.
That should worry you. 61% of illegal immigrants collect welfare. Almost double. I bet it's more because I bet that the numbers are fraudulent. Is there anybody in the chat that's collecting welfare food stamps? I'm not trying to target you or ridicule or anything. It's a program that's there for Americans. It's not a program for people that shouldn't be here. And the 37%, I would hope that number's at 37% because of the 50 millions illegals that are here taking their jobs. Now, some of that 37% are probably just lazy people. You're going to throw in a factor of lazy. You're going to throw in a factor of disabled. You're going to throw in a factor of elderly. You're going to throw in a factor of people that have lost their jobs. You're going to throw in that factor. But at the end of the day, 61% of illegals, none of those factors account for that. None. And I don't care if you're disabled and illegal. We will kindly help you to the border. We'll kindly help you back. How many of you have walked into Walmart or fill in the, there's no, I saw the comment. There's no Walmarts in Iran. They're all Targets. I got you. That's a good joke. How many of you have walked into some of these stores and you see people driving the little scooters that they don't look like they need to be driving scooters? Or they get out of a nice Mercedes, they jump on the scooter, and then they pay with EBT. Next time you drive by a Salvation Army or a Goodwill, look how many nice cars are in the parking lot. Think about that. My husband had to get a real ID when we moved. Guess what? Husband had no problem. He's 85. Your husband's smart. If you can't figure out how to get ID, you don't need to vote. You're probably licking windows. You're probably, if you cannot get ID, you're a window licker. And if you can't get ID, I don't want you voting. Let's just do that one. Oh yeah, all the homeless people, they always have an iPhone, don't they? They always have like an iPhone 17. Every one of them. Every damn one of them has an iPhone 17 Pro Max with a zoom lens. Every one of them. Anytime a homeless person asks me for something, they don't ask. They usually ask me. And I say, what? I always ask them what they have for sale. I don't give money away. I'm like, what do you got to sell? Entertain me. Sing me a song. Make me laugh. Do a little dance. Get down tonight. Entertain me. Even going back to biblical times. If you don't have a skill, you're probably not going to eat. Tell me a joke. How about a damn magic trick? And the magic trick isn't making my money disappear up your nose. That's not the magic trick that I want to see. And I've seen the same fat guy, which is weird because only in America are homeless people obese. No other country in the world are poor people fat. We got homeless people dying from type 2 diabetes because they're eating too much junk. Thursdays are getting hot. Thursdays are getting hot. Yeah. Thursdays are a little interesting sometimes with the amount let me see. What does this say? Veteran family or family, or you can't even spell veteran. I know you're a scammer. I have a wallet full of money. It's earnings from crypto. To release it, I need help. Gotcha. That's my uncle from Nigeria sending me that. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. My uncle in Nigeria. Somebody says they've got good stories to share in the nursing home. Great job. That'll be fun. Ben, Washington State's dumb governor, Bob Ferguson, just signed a law a few days ago that allows illegals to become law enforcement officers. Well, good for them. That's their right. Somebody asked the question in the chat, where will the first sleeper cells be activated? It looks like Texas has already accomplished that. If you saw, we're not hearing a lot about this Port Arthur refinery. That was a blip in the news, wasn't it? A very quick blip in the news. Nothing more. If they were going to get activated, I would say Dearborn, Michigan would be very fiery and peaceful this time of the year. I would say that. I don't think I'd get a lot of argument. CNN, Communist News Network. How rich Ukrainian soldiers training on us how to eliminate those drones. Yeah, you're right about that. You are correct. I want to I'd like to get some calls on this because I believe this is a problem. We got problems overseas, we got problems here at home. But there's a lot of people that are struggling. And showing you this, households on welfare, 61% illegal, 37% speak English. What would just say that? 37% speak English. DMV had to fight its computer to issue me a real ID. Okay, computer problems happen. Donald, I'm 70 years old. I asked for my ID to buy beer and dog food. Great show always, Ben. Thank you, Donald. Or Don. Sorry, Don. Thank you. Trevor, thank you very much. $20 for the super chat. Thank you, Don. I call CNN Cancerous News Network. You're probably not very far off with that one. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Just turn down the audio up there. MWP became a member. Finally. Let's go right here. Talk to me. Line 2.
Good morning, Ben. Pure Blood here.
Good morning.
Good morning, hon. I'm calling about the illegal immigrant thing you have here talking about right now.
Sure.
I was a food stamp worker, hon, back in the day when I worked, and this was a big issue. It's been going on for a long time.
So this is real.
Yes. Oh, yes, hon. It's way worse than what they're actually showing, though. They're not showing, Ben. They were giving them right during the Biden administration, right? But this has been going on for a while, but it really took off. And they were giving them, housing, brand new vehicles, welfare, food stamps, access, anything. They were giving them everything they wanted. iPhones. Remember you mentioned those iPhones? Obama did that. That's from him. He was giving out.
Well,
those
thank
phones.
you for the call,
comp-
Pure Blood. I appreciate it.
welcome.
God bless you. Line 2. Go right ahead. Line 2. She's on fire this morning. She's upset.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Amazing. What's up, Anton? How are you, brother?
Good. Thanks. I sent you a little blip about what I've found out or what has been told to me about, the welfare system in the U.S., which I believe has been hijacked by, let's just call them foreign entities. So, I think the majority of people that has been, quote unquote, imported into this country illegally are actually on welfare, and we are paying for them. And that's just how it's going to be until we actually stand up and change it.
Well, I believe once you start giving things away for free, you can never like cut it off, because then you're the bad guy, right?
Yes, exactly. So there's two other things I just want to mention, because, I listen to quite a few people on the podcasts and things like that. And I just, if we take all the, let's call it all the fog out of the equation, okay? And we assume these people to be serious about wanting to remove us off this planet, because this is what they say, right? Let's just call it the guys in the Middle East that don't like us a lot.
Yeah, they don't like us.
Yes. So they literally say that they are going to delete us off this planet. Now, let's assume that they are serious about that. Okay, what other option do we have but to retaliate?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you want to, you are going to draw a gun on me, and if I don't get to shoot you first, Old West style, then you shoot me first and I'm gone. So, I mean, we can talk and negotiate all we want, but, we are not running around saying, well, delete all of them, but they are definitely running around, shouting, delete all of us. And I think I take a personal insult, to this, because where I'm from, there are people running around. You should know the one guy, his name is Malema, that says that they are going to delete all of us. And they are doing that, which is why many of us are coming here.
At some point, you have to believe them. You have to believe at some point.
The problem that I have with a lot of people are, even though the evidence is overwhelming, by them putting our sailors on their knees, like you showed the other day, with guns against their heads, they still say, no, these people are not serious. This is not what they mean to do, but they are doing it. And the evidence is overwhelming.
Yeah.
That this is happening. And yet people don't believe it. I don't understand.
Anton, I got to give you a big shout out. I got my shipment yesterday with the bison, and I got 3 Cadbury's eggs. One's from myself, one from my daughter, one from my wife. And I really want to say thank you. And
you're very welcome.
I want to say thank you. Happy Easter before Easter gets here, but it's coming up. Can you, just a quick shameless plug, you're a sponsor on the channel. You've never paid me a damn penny, but I do take some Angus biltong.
I try and pay you in meat.
You pay me in meat. That's the old barter way of life. The way that America started, we bartered. Can you tell people how to, I'll put the link for your website there in the chat, but can you tell people, maybe for people that are in and around your location, in Texas, if they want to come and support a Patriot owned business, how they can find you?
Yes, sir. We are actually now very simple to find. We are in a city called Sunset, just off Highway 287, which I think has just been changed to an interstate. So we are at 3814 Highway 287. And every now and again, I get someone saying, well, you doxed yourself. No, I'm in public. My website's got my address, and we are business. So there's no doxing.
I've got it right here. I've got it right up here on the thing, and I've got your phone number for everybody watching.
Phone number's there. Exactly. So people can literally walk in and meet myself and my wife. It's not complicated.
That's amazing. So, I was in contact with another business yesterday in Dallas, a guy that owns a watch company, very pro-American, Patriot, Marine veteran. and him and I talked, and he's probably going to come on the channel and sponsor the channel. It's an American made watch, which is something that is not happening right now. So anytime I can help American businesses right here at home, that's who I want to help, man. I really appreciate you, Anton.
I agree.
You
Thank
take
you,
care,
sir.
and thank you so much. I'll be eating some bison on the way to work.
Excellent.
God
Everybody have
bless
a
you,
great
sir.
day.
Take care. Let's see here. Wait. There we go. So go check out Anton, Land of Biltong, Biltong, USA. I've got 3 bags of bison in the fridge that came in yesterday. And Anton's a patriot. Came here from South Africa. He's experienced real hatred firsthand. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's experienced it. Let's go here. James in not West by God, Virginia, just by God, Virginia. What you got, James?
Good morning, Ben. Once again, follow you on X, and the memes you putting out are outstanding.
We have to. We have to keep ridiculing these morons.
The other thing, Ben, the people on welfare, that's a program the Communist Democratic Party puts out because they buy votes with it. And the other thing, Ben, I figured out why the trolls go after you so hard.
Why is that? I'd love to know.
Simple. I just figured it out. Ben, you're putting out the truth in the news, and the trolls can't handle it.
It's weird, isn't it? It is weird.
It is.
People hate. My grandfather said the fastest way to piss somebody off is tell the truth. God rest his soul.
That's the truth right there, Ben. You just pissed off a troll.
The fastest way to piss somebody off is tell the truth, and they don't like it. They don't like it.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle the truth. I think Jack Nicholson said that before he went full crazy. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. God bless you.
One other thing quick, Ben.
Sure.
The warthogs have finally arrived in Iran.
You know, I've got a guy that I know. He's a friend of mine. He was a warthog pilot. I might try to get him on for a chat.
That'd be great. I love the warthog.
He was
favorite airplane.
He was a warthog pilot, retired colonel. And yeah, he did that stuff. So, and you know what I'm talking about. Take care, James. God bless you. Speaking of upsetting the trolls, I know this will upset the trolls. I used to be a massive baseball fan. Used to be a huge baseball fan. Quit going. Line 2, go right ahead.
Upsetting the trolls. This will upset the trolls. Yeah, this is Sandra.
Sandra, you sound like a dude. Sorry. And that scared the hell out of me. You're no. Line 3, go. If you can't turn the audio down, you obviously can't figure things out. What would you like to say?
Yes, good morning. So, yeah, this is Frogman17. I had a question to ask you, man. Who runs the deep state in Israel?
Who runs the deep state in Israel?
Yeah. It's been on my mind for a couple of weeks. I'm like, man, who's behind that entity?
Who do you think?
Every nation has a deep state.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Who do you think runs the deep state in Israel?
I think it's Benjamin Netanyahu. I think he runs both sides.
Well, I think Benjamin Netanyahu's the prime minister, so he wouldn't really be running the deep state. He would be running his country, right?
Well, you know what? The people we don't see, you know, the people that's behind the scenes. Yeah, we don't see them, but they push all the buttons. But the thing is, the people we.
Do you believe that Israel controls the United States?
I mean, they founded the United States.
Israel founded the United States.
All the presidents of the founding fathers were Jewish.
George Washington was Jewish.
Yes, he was. He was a Jewish Freemason.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. I see where we're going here. So George Washington was Jewish, but why would they then write a constitution that says "In God We Trust"? Why wouldn't they throw some stuff in there about about Israel. I don't think Israel's mentioned once in the Constitution of the United States.
I mean, the symbols of Freemasonry are embedded into the lexicons. So
Freemasonry founded the United States.
Yes, Freemasonry founded the United States.
Was Thomas Jefferson Jewish?
I don't want to throw that out there, but
wait, so you've got some secret information, but you don't want to say it.
No, it's not secret, but I want to be accurate. But I know, like,
I don't think you're being accurate saying George Washington was Jewish. George Washington was Episcopalian. He was Anglican.
Yes, but the Freemasonry, the symbols, they're merged by symbols. They talk with symbols.
Are you against Freemasonry? Are you against Freemasonry?
No, because there's an esoteric side to it.
You're shifting lanes here on multiple things. So you said George Washington was Jewish. I've corrected you on that. He was not. Thomas Jefferson was not Jewish. I don't believe any of our founding fathers were Jewish. And I'll ask you this: what religion are you?
I'm what you call a syncretist.
A syncretist? What is that? I've never seen those church. What is that? Syncretist.
No, it's not a church. It's an ideology. Basically, you're taking all the religions and you're basically simplifying it by symbols and ancient texts. Everything's all intertwined.
So you're taking. So do you use the King James version of a Bible for this, or what books do you combine to make this work for you? What books do you combine?
You use all the books.
Use all the books.
Use all the books.
Do you use the Quran? Do you use the Quran?
You use them all.
Do you use the Quran?
You'll find yes, you use them all.
You use the Quran for shaping your religion.
No, not only the Quran, but I use that book to gather my information, to further my information.
So you just admitted you use the Quran to shape your religious ideology.
I said all books.
All books.
Religions.
All books.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings, all those books too.
Yeah, because if you look at the symbology,
if you use the Lord of the Rings to shape your ideology or the Quran, and I put more faith in the Lord of the Rings than I do the Quran, man, you have a great day. I would.
I see you ain't answering my question. Who runs the deep state in Israel, man?
I don't live in Israel, and I don't care who runs the quote deep state in Israel.
Why wouldn't you care about that, sir?
Because I'm American.
But that's our allies. When you want to know who runs the deep state in Israel,
I don't believe that Israel controls the United States.
Well, you need to read the Bible over again.
You just told me you read the Quran.
I said I read all ancient texts.
You read all ancient text. Okay.
That's what a syncretist does.
Thank you very much. A syncretist. Syncretist. Okay, yeah. You have a great day. Get synchronized with that. Oh my God, I feel dumber. Whoo! I'm sorry you had to listen to that. I feel dumber. I think I'm going to hang up on somebody here. Line 3. How quickly can I hang up on you?
Well, I was.
There we go. That's the answer. 0.1 millisecond. Bobby, Tennessee.
Hey, I had to laugh the whole time that guy was on about the Freemasons.
You know, I think
what he's talking about, it's been around for decades and decades. The layout of Washington, D.C., you know, back in the day when they were first forming that city.
I feel dumber.
Yeah, I do too. But here's my grandfather was a Freemason. It was designed by Freemasons. They laid the stones, all the cornerstones, and they put symbols on it so that everyone would remember who built Washington, D.C.
Let me ask you this.
To do with the government at all. It's dumb.
Let me ask you this. Wasn't the wisest man in the Bible named King Solomon? Wasn't that his name?
Yes.
And didn't King Solomon bring all of these people together to help build these biblical cities? And they were Masons. Is that correct?
Yes.
So King
Absolutely.
Solomon, wisest man in the Bible, I believe in the Bible. I'm not
Me too.
saying that I've got a lot of friends and family that have been Freemasons. My grandfather, World War II veteran, God rest his soul. My dad was a Mason or still is a Mason. I've been offered.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. The
I don't
Masons
either.
Lodge here where I live, I know a bunch of them. About twice a year, they go spend thousands of dollars on coats for kids. Thank you for calling,
Yeah.
Bobby. God bless you.
You're welcome.
They're horrible people buying coats for kids. Line 3, go right ahead. Go, line 3. Okay, there we go. Nice call. Let's grab this one. Line 4.
Yes, Dan, how are you?
Amazing. Who's this?
Well, this is Gary 7. We're opening a new church here in Winnemucca. It's a synchronous church, and I joined, and I'm finally in sync. How about you? Are you going to join?
A synchronous church. No, I think it sounds like absolute, I don't want to swear. It sounds like poppycock.
Oh, well, that's what we serve. That's what we serve during the services is poppycock. Boxes of poppycock.
I would love a box wine at my no. Take care, brother. God bless you. Synchronous church. I have never heard of anything as absurd as that. And I've heard some crazy stuff. A synchronous church, and you're combining the Quran that wants to take out everybody and the Bible. No, I'm just not gonna. I'm not taking those calls. No, I will never allow you on the show again. Not happening. And if you think that, then good day. Mr. Milton in Memphis, bring the knowledge, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Ben? Good morning.
I am better than I deserve. And I will say this, though, Milton. On a daily basis, I meet people that make me feel like a rocket scientist. And I think you know what I mean. I meet people that are so dumb that I wonder if they will ever develop the capability to breathe through their nose. What would you like to say?
Yeah, you so right. I just want to, it's Monday when Trump came to Memphis, man, our leaders really straight up and just disrespected that man. And I was so, pissed off about it. And I did a whole hour video on Steve Cohen. I haven't done the one for our mayor because I wanted to break down his interview. I was like, y'all talk bad and crap about the man before he got here and after he left instead of showing up to talk to him face to face.
Milton, let me ask you a question. I'm going to assume something here. I'm going to assume you are a Black American patriot. I'm going to assume that. And
yes, I'm Black.
I want to, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
At what point in your maturity in life or your awakening did you realize the president of the United States is not a racist? When did you get enlightened about that?
Well, about Trump, I used to watch Trump like in the 80s, like when he used to be on Oprah Winfrey's, like Oprah Winfrey shows and stuff like that. He's never ever rubbed me the way about him being a racist. Yeah. I remember in one of his books, he's talked about how he had helped a group of Black men back in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, and they was trying to start their businesses and stuff, and the banks wouldn't give them loans.
Right.
And when they went to Trump, and somebody told them to go ask Trump for the loan, they went to Trump. Trump gave them the loan and said, "This how much that we agree that you pay me back." They said, okay. So years went on, and they said when they came back with the check for the man,
he didn't take
how's your business? He did not take. He said, "How's your business?" "Oh, everything's going great." Oh, okay. This is the check that we agreed upon. He said, "Yes, sir." Told the check up and said, "Enjoy y'all business."
I'll tell you this, Milton. I've got.
And if he's a racist, he's doing a terrible job at it. He needs to take some classes then.
He's a failure. Yeah, he's got to get better. He should take some advice from the Democrat Party, maybe Barack Obama. I've got a friend of mine that was riding his motorcycle, two guys I knew riding their Harleys through Colorado. Trump had not announced that he was going to run for president. Yes, this was back in 2014, 2015. They were driving down a highway on their Harley Davidsons. There was a limo that was broke down, had a flat tire. They stopped and helped change the flat tire on that car. About 6 months later, their mortgages was paid for because the guy that was in the car that got out and shook their hand was at that time just Donald Trump. They got both of their mortgages paid for by the president of the United States.
Ain't that something? And I never heard that story before.
Neither one of those
that's
guys have
wild.
ever came public with that. That happened.
Yeah.
Milton,
Yeah,
I want to say
mean,
thank you for
Trump-
calling, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you go right ahead. Finish your thought. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, I was just going to say, he didn't become racist until he got to the White House. As a matter of fact, when Jesse Jackson was running for president twice in the 80s, Trump gave him an office, to run his campaign office, and didn't charge him anything. And then you introduce Trump as your friend. Okay, fast forward to when they would start calling him racist and this and that. You did not come out and say, hold on, I'm not going to let y'all say this about this man. This man helped me back in the 80s. And this is my friend. Jesse Jackson didn't come out and say anything because you know why? He would lose everything if he did.
Let me ask you this, Milton. Have you ever heard anything about a synchronist church? Because that one blew me away. My grandfather did a little preaching.
That was my first time.
I've never heard of anything like that. Never.
I heard of all kind of other different religions, whatever the religion, that people want to go with and go by, that's on them. Me, I'm raised as a Christian.
Yeah.
Baptist.
Yeah.
And I'm born and raised here in Memphis, Tennessee.
I grew up.
Our goals about.
I grew up in an Assembly of God church in Lower Alabama, and my high school principal was a deacon in the church, so I didn't get away with a lot. I didn't get away with much. Brother, I appreciate you calling. It is nice to talk to you, Milton. God bless you. Thank you for calling in. Take care.
All right, y'all have a good day.
And tell everybody that we allow people of any race, gender, color, creed to call in, even whenever I disagree with them. Milton, you're a great American. Take care, brother. God bless you.
All right.
Milton. Let's go right here. This was at San Francisco ballpark last night. I don't know who this gentleman is. Obviously, he's a squid. Hi, Ben. Your map is saying the Gulf of Mexico. Pin the screen. It must be a Google bloopy. I have no idea. No idea.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the parts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets was bursting, proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the Star-Spangled Banner yet wave for the land of the free?
Watch when they pan back. Look at that gentleman right there. That's a squid for you, baby. That might be the only time that the national anthem is sang in San Francisco, California. What a great rendition. Now, I thought Whitney Houston kicked ass, but I'm going to tell you right now, promote this gentleman. Wow. I love it. Way to go, Squid. Way to go, Squid. Sailor. He's actually a sailor, not a squid. Squids are submarine qualified until I die. Until I die. Submarine qualified until I die. Let's grab a couple more calls here. I'm taking the morning off. I got to take my truck and get some service done on it. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Lines are open. Love to hear from you. Strongest vibration wins each moment, meaning the majority. I don't know what that means. What's up, Bearded Frog? Good morning. Bearded Frog over there on I respect all of the vets. You did something I wasn't allowed to do. Jake, why weren't you allowed? Last time I checked, everybody was allowed to join the military if you wanted to. The Eagle USA carburetor. No, I got a Edelbrock carburetor. Thing's running like a charm. I'm actually going to get the gear oil changed in the rear end and the rear diff is what I'm getting changed. That's what I'm going to get done this morning. You got to keep up on the maintenance on your old pickup trucks. It didn't become a 51-year-old pickup truck by getting ignored. Not at all. But I'd love to talk to you. If you've got a question, comments, concern, or no cuss words, please. But feel free. Apparently this happened last night and it set the internet on fire, set Twitter on fire. There was some kind of clip that was posted. It was like a 3-second clip of the White House. We'll grab this call here. Line 2. What do you got, line 2?
Internet on fire.
Turn your audio down in the background. Yes, please.
There we go. Couple things. The guy that called in about the Masons doesn't have a freaking clue about Masons.
Are you a Mason?
No, my father was, my grandfather was,
Are you in the Northern Star? That's the ladies' sort of auxiliary of the Masonic Lodge?
No, but my daughters were. They did up until they were about 16, I think.
So your dad was a horrible person because he was a member of the Masons, right?
Yes, he was a Christian Mason. Both of my parents went to the Masonic home and school in Fort Worth, and
Eastern Star. Sorry,
back in the 1950s.
Do you think? I believe the whole sort of cloud of conspiracy. I think one of our original conspiracy theories could be the Masons, because number one, you have to ask one to be one, or to be one, you have to ask one. And it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious, the conspiracy around it.
It is, and you've got the Black Masons. You've got different branches of the Masons.
Well, I don't want to say too much about it because I'm not an expert, and I really don't want to say too much about it. But thank you for calling. I really appreciate you. God bless your dad. Let's go line 2. Line 2, go right ahead.
Morning, Ben.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Amazing. Who am I talking to? Where are you calling
from? James from Boca.
James from Boca. What you got, James?
Well, you're talking about percentages earlier about who's on welfare. And
sure.
It's about 50 million people, Americans, are on welfare.
50 million.
Nothing against that.
Okay.
So, but now if there's 60 million illegals in this country and 60% of them are getting welfare, that means like 36 million illegals are getting welfare.
Okay.
Which is 2/3 of the American people that are actually getting it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a solid point when you break it down like that. Yeah. When you break down the percentages of that, that is a great point. Solid point. Yeah. How do you think we fix it? How do you think we fix that problem? Do you think work requirements or do you think, well, let me tell you this. Voter ID will not only fix voting, but ID will also fix welfare, because then you don't get to register for welfare without some ID. You see how this is working? Mm-hmm.
Right now, and I see a family of 7 that don't speak English, and they can fill a card up and get $480 worth of groceries and laugh and have a good time. I don't know anybody, any American, laughing and having a good time when they're paying $400 for groceries right now.
Yeah. James, I got to
don't
take
know.
care, brother.
Have a
God
good
bless
one,
you.
brother.
Audio was down on his phone. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. There we go. 5x5, most people. Some people's audios was down. Could be phone connection. Somebody, oh, I love this one. Hold up. Freemasonry is not Christian. Tell my grandfather that. Jeff, I think you're wrong, and maybe maybe don't understand some things, but go for it. That's up to you. You do you. You believe what makes you comfortable. Okay? I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to do anything except talk about things that bother me on the news. If you're here to convince someone of something in the chat, then that probably is on you. I'm not here to do that. But I think a lot of people don't understand a lot of stuff they're talking about. Because if you were to tell some really good people that I know that they weren't Christian because they were members of they were Freemasons, would you then tell the people that wrote the Constitution of the United States that they weren't Christian? I think this is hilarious. I really do. I love the comments. Man, I never knew how many people got triggered over something. It's mainly because they don't know. It's the original conspiracy theory is what I think it is. I think it's the original conspiracy theory. Let's go line 2. What do you got, line 2?
Hey, Ben, it's Fred from Pennsylvania.
I can barely hear you.
When are you going to take Fred back out there in that field where the hay bales are and smoke a cigar and holler at him for being an asshole?
I don't know.
I remember them days when you first started your channel. You'd do your cast out there in the field, and it's funny as hell how you'd holler at Fred.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you for calling, brother. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Great call. I don't have to convince anybody. Everybody sees it. Nobody talks about it. Oh, okay. There we go. We've got it. Airborne. Let's go. Joe Chehalis, Washington. What you got, Joe?
Hey, Ben, one time I was right with who bought $150 worth of crab legs on their EBT card. I mean, that kind of stuff has to stop.
She didn't buy that. You bought that.
Yeah, exactly.
You bought that, Joe. You bought that.
I know.
Thank you very much, brother. God bless you. Let's see here. Somebody in the chat, Jeff, what does this say? Jeff Keon. He will not listen to anything I say about Christianity. Jeff, call in. Line 2, go right ahead.
Yes, sir. Jim in Middle Tennessee.
Good morning, Jim.
This morning. You were talking about the leadership in Iran.
Mm-hmm. Who's the leader?
That's exactly. I think everything has been shaken up so bad now that there's probably not any one person, and there's a lot of rogue Iraqi units all through that area. I think they're just on their own, and their final job is to destroy everything that they can. And I don't know if Trump's going to be able to talk to any one person to get it, to make the deal.
Let me say this. One of the worst things we ever did was get rid of Saddam Hussein, not because he was a bad person, but because he kept the Middle East in check. And I'm not saying the Ayatollah should have been allowed to stay in power, but as soon as you lose who's in charge, all of these other little factions start fighting for power. Would you agree with that?
Yes, all the little, the rogue units, all the troops that are out there have no leadership, and they're just on their own. And the only thing they know is to finish the job, finish what they started to the end. That was their instructions. And
thank you for
also
calling, brother. I appreciate you.
May I make one other point?
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about the rogue units that are probably in America and the drone units, when they were introducing all those drones into Bardsdale Air Base, Louisiana. I think there may be more of that around, and there's no telling how many storage units and factions that may be full of little Chinese drones sitting around just waiting. And that's another thing. If you see something, say something.
You damn right. Take care, brother. God bless you.
Thank you. Bless you. Bye-bye.
What does that say? Will, you're exactly correct on what you said about Saddam. I think it's one of the worst things we did. Get rid of Saddam. I'm not saying he should have stayed in power, but it splintered so many things. Let's go line 1. What do you got? Line 1.
Hey, Vinny, this is James from California.
Good morning, James in
I'm
California.
disabled and on food stamps in California, and I want to thank every taxpayer in the world for helping me in my life and my journey.
James, if you are disabled, if you're disabled, that's what it's there for. If you are down on your luck, if you lost your job, it's a safety net. That's the way I look at it, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that wanted to accept everything and never want to thank the people that actually help them, which it's not the government, it's you guys, everybody who pays. Everybody who pays their taxes in California,
Is it your governor? Do you want to thank your governor?
Oh, hell no. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
What about your state senators? What about your congressmen?
No. Hopefully, I don't really like Bianco, but Hilton. But, you got to understand, Bianco had to get down on his knees because he was tied up with all the bull crap in L.A. when that George Floyd crap was happening.
Thank you for calling, brother. God bless you. Let's go line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Yeah, it's Trish from South Carolina. I retired from the state doing Medicaid. Okay. It started getting bad back about Obama time. And the language and on everything, it was like all the disclaimers that they put on there was in every language and squished out a lot of our language. But they did. Not everybody. There are people that really need it. And a lot of the ones that are on it are taking advantage of it.
I agree.
How much can you prove? We did the best we could, but when they went digital, they lost total control.
Yeah, you're right.
Read a script, push a button, you got it, whether you deserved it or not.
Thank you for calling. God bless you, South Carolina. Let's go here. Line 3. What do you got, line 3?
Yes. I was calling to see, I don't know if you go on to X a lot, but on End Wokeness, where I'm from Pennsylvania, I'm from a county north of Philadelphia, and I saw something about a whole bunch of, I don't know, Palestinian crap being broadcasted saying that if the troops come home, we spit on their corpses and all this crap. I mean, I can't put it in the exact words, but they were protesting.
I've got it right here. I thought about talking about this and I wasn't sure because here's the thing. People have free speech in America, and you can't limit it to it's free speech. It's not common sense. And sadly, that's just the way it is right now. You know what I mean? Sadly, that's just the way it is. We're allowing everyone to, I'm going to hang up and talk about this. We're allowing people to basically do anything they want is what we're doing. We're allowing people to discuss and talk about anything they want. We are not cutting people off because of common sense. There's no IQ test, which maybe there should be. Maybe there should be a damn IQ test. I don't know. But what's happening is, and this is the clip right here that is very very real. I'll play this for you. So they're cheering for these troops to come home in caskets. Oh, the audio was cutting out. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. That's what's happening. Free speech is free speech. You can't limit it by common sense, sadly. I don't know how you get around it, you know. Line 2, go right ahead. Line 2, go. Call back. There you go. There you go. How many are actually there? I don't know. That's a good point. Line 2, go right ahead. All right, there we go. Perfect. Great job. Oh God. Let me just go ahead and do this one. There you go. Goodbye. Let's go, Chris, Arkansas. What you got, Chris?
Hey Ben, I just seen where you posted that about those folks cheering for troops to come home, and man, they do that because they face no resistance. And I'm sorry, but if I happen to be walking past one of them, somebody would be missing teeth, and I'd probably be in jail or in the hospital. That's just, you know, at some point in time, people have to face the consequences of being stupid.
Free speech is free speech. People are allowed to say dumb stuff. And, you know, that's just kind of the way it is. People are allowed to say dumb crap. And I don't know how you fix that. I really don't, you know. What are your thoughts?
With resistance, you know, and I understand, and I'm not normally per se a violent guy, but they're in the streets and they're being, in a lot of cases, in that particular case, I didn't see any violence, but a lot of these mostly peaceful protests are very violent, and the only way to stop violence is with violence.
Do you know what's happening on Saturday?
I don't have a clue.
No Kings protest nationwide. About 40 million people will be protesting. It'll get crazy. Chris, thank you for calling. No Kings protest is coming up this weekend. On Saturday, there's a No Kings protest nationwide. Go here, line 2. What do you got?
Yeah, man, I had to clear myself up.
Oh, no. No. If you need to clear yourself up, go take a shower. I'm not talking to the Church of Synchronist. Sorry. One call a day. I can only deal with a certain level of common sense so many times. I don't want to call you dumb, but you sounded dumb. Line 3, go. Okay, dumb again. There we go. Mark there in Pittsburgh. What do you got, Mark?
Yeah, Ben. It infuriates me what they're doing. It drives me crazy. Every time I hear that call to prayer, my brain wants to blow out of my head. It's disgusting. I don't know how we stop it, but we got to do something about it.
Here's my thoughts, Mark. The United States was founded on freedom of religion. That's why a lot of people came to the United States, because they were being persecuted for not joining the Church of England.
But you got to assimilate. But you have to assimilate to our country, though. You're bringing your religion and you're throwing it onto us.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you drink Coke or coffee or anything with caffeine in it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Do you think every religion should drink something with caffeine in it because you do?
It's their choice.
Wait a second.
I'm not pushing it on them, though, Ben.
Okay. But are you trying to what are you trying to push on the people that are Islamic? I'm not Islamic, and I think it's a dangerous religion, but what are you trying to push on them?
I don't want them hurting our people in America. I was born here. They come over here to escape their persecution, but then they want to throw their religion onto us. Look, we've been brainwashed for the past 16 years. Okay, we've been brainwashed. Okay, then Trump came in and he foiled their plan. Okay, now they're back at it with Biden. Okay, they're flooding our country. Okay. It only takes a generation to change our freedom, our constitution. I mean, our belief system. These kids are brainwashed. They brought over millions, and they're going to activate them to try to take over our country. That's my belief. And if they come anywhere near my neighborhood, they're getting blown away.
Let me ask you this. Using that same mentality, what do you do when some Mormons come and knock on your door? Do you blow them away?
No, because they're peaceful about it. They respect you. When you say no, have a nice day, go on with your life, and they say, God bless you, and they roll on. These people are with loudspeakers. They're New York City, Times Square. They're with their bullhorns. I mean, there got to be, if I lived in one of them cities, I'd be over a city council demanding that there be some type of limit against the sound.
What city do you live in?
I live in Pittsburgh.
How many mosques are in Pittsburgh?
One too many.
How many?
Wouldn't know, because it disgusts me. But I know there's at least 10,000 people where we talked about it before. There's about 10,000 Somalis in Pittsburgh. But it's nothing like Texas. I mean, I
because I'm looking at a map of Pittsburgh right here. You've got a handful. You've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right there. Are you sure? Mark, you take care. I appreciate your call, but I think get aggravated at the ones in your city. Line 2. Go right ahead, line 2. Line 2, go right ahead. Sure.
Church there thing.
Okay.
You know what that's actually, you know what that's actually about?
Nope. Know about.
Look up Agenda 2030. It's under bringing all the religions under one banner. That's what that synchronous church means.
Who created that?
You bring your being created by the New World Order, by the World Economic Forum, you name it. You bring Buddhism, Christianity, Muslim, all these religions, you bring them under one banner, under the New World Order banner.
Okay.
It's in Agenda 2030.
Agenda 2030. I've not heard of Agenda 2030. God bless you. All right. Agenda 2030. I haven't heard of that one. Not heard of the Agenda 2030. I'll have to check it out. Thank you for that. Send me an email. Cynicism. Sounds like revelations all over. You're doing great, Ben. Thank you so much. Yeah, the audio's fine. I listened to it on another channel. I think your stuff might be cutting out. I believe that man, it's a weird timeline we got going on here. I'll say that. Weird timeline. With that being said, I hope that you all have a great day. I'm not going to go to the Church of Cynicism or whatever that church was. I've never even heard of that before. Never heard of it. Not going. I do have a bunch of these for anybody that needs to get right with the Lord. Holy Bible. I got a bunch of these that I've been sending out. If you want to become a member on the channel, you'll probably get an opportunity to get one of those. I've been mailing them out. I think I mailed out like 6 of them yesterday. So there we go. Let's see here. Ben, your map. Oh, Gulf of America. I can't do anything about that. It's a map. I don't control maps. They can synchronize with the short bus. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I think we might have talked to that were on the short bus this morning, but not everyone. There were a couple. With that being said, this has been Dykes Show. You guys take care. I'll see you on the road.